Hey, before we get into the story, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more real, intense stories like this. My name is Daniel. I'm 38, married to Lauren for almost 10 years. We met in college, when life was simple and the future felt endless. 2 kids, dreaming about growing old together, unaware that forever can start to feel unbearably heavy once it turns into mortgages, bills, and quiet dinners filled with hollow words. Lately, it wasn't even hollow words. It was silence. She'd scroll through her phone while I sat across the table, pretending to read the news, but mostly watching her reflection in the screen. Expressionless. Detached. I'd ask how her day went. She'd shrug. I'd tell her about work. She'd nod without looking up. I used to think marriages fade quietly. Ours felt different. It felt like it was evaporating deliberately, like she wanted me to witness it vanish. It started subtly. Fewer touches, fewer laughs. Then came comparisons. Mike got promoted. Mike's wife looked so happy in their vacation pictures. Mike, her ex before me, the one she once said was too immature for something serious. I stayed quiet. I didn't want to seem insecure. Maybe that was my mistake, waiting until her words finally cracked something inside me. It was a Tuesday. I remember because I came home early, hoping to surprise her with dinner. She didn't notice. She was in the kitchen, arguing on the phone. I overheard her say, "No, I don't regret it. I just wonder what life would have been if I'd married Mike instead." Then soft, tired laughter. When she hung up and turned, I was standing there, holding 2 plates of pasta. Her face flashed guilt, annoyance, then defiance. Everything an apology couldn't capture. "Don't look at me like that," she said sharply. "It was just a joke," she added. I wanted to believe her, but jokes often carry truths someone's too scared to say outright. That night we ate in silence. She scrolled. I chewed. My chest felt heavy, not with anger, but with realization. She wasn't just unhappy. She was voicing her regret. The next few days were worse. Sleeping at the edge of the bed, facing away, stopped saying good morning. One night I asked, "Are you okay?" She sighed. "I'm just tired, Daniel." But it wasn't exhaustion. It was dismissal. I thought patience could fix things. I helped more around the house. Planned a weekend trip. She canceled, saying she needed time alone. Then came that night, the one I still replay in my mind like a film I never auditioned for. Friday. She was pacing the kitchen, frustrated about a broken dishwasher. I tried to help. "Don't touch it. You'll make it worse," she snapped. "Lauren, I'm just trying." "I should have married Mike," she yelled, cutting me off. Time froze. The hum of the fridge, the ticking clock, even the rain tapping against the window, all of it disappeared behind those words. They weren't angry. They were regretful. Years of it, finally finding voice. I didn't shout. I didn't throw anything. I just stared at her. The woman who cried on my shoulder when her mother died, who laughed so hard on our first road trip she spilled coffee on my jeans. Now, red-faced and breathing heavily, she looked at me like I was the life she wanted to escape. Realizing I wasn't reacting made her uneasy. She sat at the kitchen table, arms crossed, expecting me to ignite the argument she had rehearsed. But I didn't. Then I said quietly, "Maybe you should find out what being Mrs. Mike really feels like." Her eyes widened. "What does that mean?" I walked to the drawer and pulled out a small envelope I prepared days ago. Inside were papers, the kind that quietly end a marriage. I had filled them out but never signed. I guess part of me already knew this night was coming. I placed the envelope in front of her. "That's what it means," I said. She didn't touch it, just stared, eyes flicking between the envelope and my face, unsure if I was serious or bluffing. Her lip trembled. "Daniel, don't do this." That's when the panic began, not loud or dramatic, just a quiet fear of realizing she'd pushed something past its limit. Her hands trembled on the table, fingertips pressing into the wood. "You can't just end things like this," she said. I leaned against the counter, calm in a way I hadn't been for months. "Lauren, I didn't end anything tonight." "You did. I'm just acknowledging it." Her jaw tightened. "So what? You're just giving up?" "No," I said softly. I'm accepting what's already gone. She stared at me like someone looking at a stranger who knows them better than they know themselves. You're not serious, she whispered. I wasn't angry. I was done negotiating with someone who had mentally checked out long ago. For years, I had held our marriage together. One apology, one compromise, one ignored slight at a time. I thought endurance was love. Turns out it was just fear of being alone. Lauren paced. Daniel, this isn't what I meant. I was just angry. Then you should have been careful where you aimed it. I thought. Her eyes glistened. You're being cruel. I smiled. Not because it was funny, but because it was ironic. The same woman who used silence as punishment now called honesty cruelty. I walked slowly toward her. You spent years reminding me what I'm not, what I can't do, who I'll never be. You made Mike a measuring stick for every flaw. And you know what's sad, Lauren? She looked up, blinking fast. I stopped trying to outdo him a long time ago. Not because I gave up, but because I realized I was competing with a ghost. He's perfect because he's gone. She opened her mouth, but no words came. I continued. I loved you enough to stay through every cold dinner, every empty morning. But tonight, when you said you should have married Mike, I finally understood something. She swallowed. What? That you don't want a husband, Lauren. You want an audience. Someone to clap for the life you think you deserve. Her color drained, like someone opened a window in winter. I reached for the envelope, slipping it back into my jacket pocket. She exhaled shakily. What are you going to do with that? Nothing tonight, I said. I'll drive to my brother's place. Get some air. Think about what I want next. Maybe I'll sign it tomorrow. Maybe not. But for once, the choice won't depend on you. Her voice cracked. Daniel, please don't just walk away like this. I almost laughed. Walk away? You've been walking away for years, just slower. She stepped closer, eyes searching for the old version of me. The one who softened, forgave. He wasn't there. I wasn't leaving out of spite. I was leaving because the part of me that believed in us had quietly died between her indifference and her comparisons. She whispered, I mean it. I nodded. Maybe, but words don't always measure truth. Sometimes they just reveal it. Her lip quivered. Is there anything I can say? Yes, I said softly. Goodbye. And that was it. No yelling, no door slamming, just the sound of my keys sliding off the hook and the soft thud of my footsteps on the hallway rug. At the door, she said one last thing. Not loud, just desperate. He wouldn't have loved me like you did. I turned once. That's the problem, Lauren. You never loved me like I did. Then I left. The drive that night was strangely quiet, not escape, but release. The rain had stopped. City lights blurred through the windshield like distant promises. I didn't feel angry or broken, just lighter. I stopped at a gas station, bought black coffee, and watched trucks pass by. For the first time in years, I didn't feel the need to check my phone or rush home to explain myself. Somewhere between hum of the road and the warmth of the cup, I realized a truth most people learn too late. Love isn't proven by how long you stay after it dies. It's proven by the courage to leave when staying means losing yourself. I don't know if Lauren ever called Mike or cried that night. Maybe she did. Maybe she realized regret isn't a time machine. It's a mirror. Stare long enough, and you see what you destroyed, not what you lost. I didn't send the papers right away. They sat untouched on my dresser for a month, until one morning I woke to peace instead of ache. That's when I signed them, not out of bitterness, but clarity, because the day she said, I should have married Mike, she didn't just end a marriage. She reminded me who I was before her disappointment became my identity. And my reply, calm, quiet, final, wasn't revenge. It was freedom.